Previously on my channel, you got to see me spray paint my kitchen cabinets, the doors, and the drawers. This week, you are going to see the final reveal. Welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca with Learning Together by Grace. You guys, let's get going. So my daughter wanted to try out the spray painter herself and see if she could do it. I always encourage them to do so because it gives them an opportunity to learn something new. I just have to say that I love my daughter's boldness and courageousness to try out new things. She did a really good job with spray painting this by herself. One big issue that we kept running into by spray painting this under our tree outside was that the leaves kept falling on it, and sometimes other little things floating around would fly on it. So consider that if you're going to do this outside.
So what happened is that the tips got clogged and the paint wasn't able to spray through the tip, so now Mom has to clean it up.
So now I'm just completing this side of the drawers and doors with the blue paint, and I'm going to allow it to dry. And in the meantime, as it's drying, I'm starting on the cabinets. I started up top on this side of my kitchen, and as you can see, there is overspray. A little did get on my ceiling, but that's okay. It all worked out. And it's very easy to get into these corners. Now, one thing that I can definitely tell you all is that when this sprays, it sprays. So paint is definitely going to come out of that sprayer. So I just want you guys to be aware of that if you do decide that you want to use this particular paint sprayer. Overall, I was pretty happy with it. There were some things that I could have done differently. Of course, there's a learning curve, and towards the end of me spray painting my cabinets, I was able to pick up a lot of things. But yeah, it took me maybe about 45 minutes to spray paint all of these cabinets in my kitchen. I was definitely happy with that time frame. Now, something that I do want to make mention here is that you have to make sure that you cover everything that you do not want to get paint on, because paint will get on it. Now, right here, I'm just using a paint roller because the paint did kind of go on heavy in certain areas, and I wanted to make sure that it was nice and smooth while it dried. This particular paint that I used, it was specifically for cabinets, so you did not have to have a polyurethane or anything like that to go over it after it dried. I will let you guys know in about a year how I feel about that, and if I feel like I need to go back over it with something like polyurethane to give it a nice finish. But it's all built into this particular paint. I'll be sure to post the paint and the primer that I used in the description so that you guys know what I feel would be good for you to get if you decide to do this. Now here I am pointing out some paint that had dripped. We had been away from our house for about 2 days, and when I came back, this is what I saw. And I just went in with my husband's drill. It has a sander attachment to it, and I used that to smooth it all out. And I had to do this in several areas. I am about to show you one of those areas so that you can see what happened. So I want to show you some major drippage that happened here. I am not quite sure what went on, but it did not work out. So I'm going to use the sander on this drill to smooth it out. I would have to say that this is probably the biggest problem with this spray painter, the airless one. Now, the first spray painter that I used, I did not have this problem, but it kept getting clogged. So you kind of have to weigh the pros and the cons to both of them and to see what would work best for you and what you're willing to spend money on. All right, so I got finished sanding the different areas. Now we're gonna, I might sand that a little bit more. Now it looks kind of rough in some areas. But now what I'm going to do is have my daughter come and wipe them off with a wet towel. Now, right here, the paint literally was just peeling off. I started using a different type of primer, and that primer was stickier. And what I noticed is that it would peel off pretty easy. And so now as I'm going and sanding, I'm seeing the exact same thing. And so I'm not even gonna bother like using that primer again. I'm just gonna go on and spray paint over it blue and just let it be. Alrighty, so today we are going to put all of the doors where they belong in the drawers. Now, don't mind that. That's just powder from my husband doing the skim coat, but we're gonna wipe all of that off. But yeah, we're gonna add the doors back. We are in the process of cleaning the little pieces, I forget what they're called, to where you have to screw things on.
Knobs?
Not the knobs, but anyways, but because of time, things like this, I'm gonna have to repaint that because something got on it as it was drying, but I need these out of the way. So we're gonna wipe the dust off. See, it's just dust from the skim coat. We're gonna wipe the dust off, and then I'm gonna touch up the paint while they are hung up because we just don't have time. But that's what we're doing. It's been a lot of hard work. I don't know what else to say. It was more than what I thought. And yesterday I was ready to just give up. And my husband was like, just attach them back on the cabinets and then you can do the little touch-ups while they're on the cabinet. We still have about 2 more weeks before we have to move in. So we have time. It just, sometimes when you're in the midst of it, it is overwhelming.
I'm tired.
We're tired, but we got this. So here I'm just cleaning off the cabinets, getting that dust off of them. And I'm also going in and touching up some of the areas that got maybe dinged up in the process or something got on them, or even the areas that I had to go in and sand just to make it smoother. These are the cabinets before we get the refrigerator installed. It's about to be installed, but I just wanted to get some video recording of it. Ah, there's Grace. It really is. And I don't even think my video camera's doing it justice. They're pretty. At this point, we had about 5 days before we had to move in. We had appliances coming. I still needed to clean off the paint that got on the countertops, and I needed to also apply the knobs. All right, you guys, so I am doing what's called rub and buff on these. I'm using this. It's antique gold, and it's actually quite simple to do. And you only need just a little bit. Me and my daughter started on these right here. But basically what I'm doing is taking just a little bit And I'm starting with the tip of the screw and just getting that as gold as I can. This is silver, so it's not going to be as golden as this. And then I'm going in around this area and I'm just rubbing it, and that's literally all you do. You rub it just like that. And then I'll take this part of the screw, and if it gets on your fingers, y'all, it's not even that big of a deal because it washes off so easily. I had to wash it off earlier today because I had to leave. But yeah, it washes off really easy, but it goes on really easy and it dries really fast actually. But I am gonna let this dry overnight and then buff it out in the morning. This is what we're looking like. And I'm just using one of these sponges. They're called, these are old wedge applicator sponges. It was an old pack. I had 2 left, so that's what I'm using, and this is working well. I saw videos of people putting this on with even their fingers, and they seem to not have any issues. So, but yeah, just keeping it simple, just like that. So this is the next day after the rub-and buff got the opportunity to dry, and now I'm just going in with this microfiber cloth and just buffing it out as best as I can. It says to buff it really well, so I'm doing this right before we install these knobs. I'm so excited! We're putting the knobs on. We're putting the knobs on. Well, I got my children putting the knobs on for me.
How much we getting paid?
Nothing. They're getting nothing.
Can I get a kiss?
They're getting nothing from me.
Can I get a kiss?
A kiss. Got lipstick. But this is what we're looking like.
It looks so good because we used to have to open it like this.
Ooh.
We used to have to open the cabinet like this, and it broke my nail before. Yeah. So
yay. Yay.
This is a spice cabinet.
All right, you guys, it's time for the final reveal. I hope that you like this look. I am in love with this color. It has the tendency to look different depending on the light that comes in through the house. It can sometimes have a turquoise color. You can sometimes see like a grayish undertone, a navy blue, or this kind of mauve type blue color, if that's what you want to call it. But I really like the different effects that it gives. I was nervous that the blue was going to make my kitchen look dark, but once I removed all of the drop cloth and everything, it was immediately bright. There is more that we're going to do in this kitchen, like the countertops. My husband still has to work on the ceiling. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you get motivated or encouraged to do your kitchen cabinets or anything that your heart's desire for your home. You guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. God bless you. Bye.